Okay, hey, we're back. Um, Animating on this character. Need to make a sprint. Going to use this run animation as a foundation to make the sprint. Um, you'll notice that the cloth is actually simulating now. It wasn't simulating in the last video. Honestly, like I don't really know why. There's like to me, there's almost no rhyme or reason when the cloth decides to uh, simulate and when it doesn't. Um, so there you are. I think I do know when it does do it. Like if I make a change and I come to my revision control and I undo that change or like get rid of the save, it'll start simulating. It's like, oh, it just refreshes the scene. So anyway, uh, unimportant. Okay, so that sprint animation, probably want to knock off. Go to frame 9 or so. Not have it too much faster, but have a little bit faster. So what I'm going to do is use this animation as a guide. So I'm going to duplicate this. Should have two of them up and running. Let's see. I copy that, paste it. There it goes. I wonder why they're not both running. Oh, that's better. That is actually what I expected to see. So when you have two control rigs in here and they're both playing at the same time, it's like, which one am I supposed to play? So just mute one. There we go. Okay. So actually, probably a better way to do this is to duplicate. Don't worry about that. That should fix itself once I unmute the layer. Okay, I'm gonna dupe this mesh. I just move it over. So I hit Control D. You might see that actually. Yeah, in the bottom right corner. Move that over, uh, drag it into my sequencer, just copy this, paste it there, delete this animation setup. So now you have two. So cool. Why this isn't running? That should be running. Hmm. Wonder if it thinks it's muted someplace else. So I guess some of this stuff is still new-ish. Should be running. If I come to this layer, this guy, go to the curves. So this is all live. Like I don't have a script I'm following. I am just trying to animate this character and just recording my process. So hopefully you um, learn something, or you can comment and you can teach me a thing or two. 'Cause I think as long as we are learning and growing and creating cool stuff, I think that's kind of all that matters. Okie dokie. I can't figure out why that's not playing. Let me just get rid of that real quick and see if there's a reason why it's not playing. Um, Interesting. Let's watch me like totally destroy this. I don't even know the last time I saved it. But I'm gonna undo these changes. It's resetting, and there they are. Hmm, bonkers. Okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna mute that layer. Then what I'm going to do is try to drag in this other guy again. Actually, it's a girl. I made this character as like a base of a combination of both my daughters. Okay, so neither one of them can get mad at me. Oh, that one's not doing it. That's interesting. Run root. That is interesting. Yeah. mean, there's some kinks they gotta work out. Like I would expect that this would transfer over completely. Um, the layers would control both the control rigs because it's the same layer. But honestly, like I don't think I want that. I would want where I get a new base layer per control rig or per SKM that I'm using here, the skeletal mesh, rather than just like a blanket, like, oh, here's your layer, and almost treat like another SKM as almost like a different scene. Okay, anyway, let's turn that off because I don't want them translating right now. So, um, what we're going to do is try to just speed this up so we can get an idea about the cadence that we want. So I'm going to come over to the curves. Oh, well, one thing I wanted to point out is that you may notice that I'm animating at 24 frames per second. Um, I learned how to animate at 24 frames per second back in the Stone Ages, and yeah, I'm an old fart. Um, in fact, my animation demo reel coming out of school was on VHS. So anyway, I normally animate for my day-to-day job at 30 frames per second, and I don't know if you caught it in my last video, but we have no Maya pipeline there. We are animating fully at in Unreal. So I'm doing this sort of stuff daily, and have been since I started the job in back in September. So we made the decision like right when I started that we are going completely fully in an Unreal animation pipeline. So every animation that we have in that game was created in Unreal on a control rig, and nothing has been exported from Maya, which I find like absolutely outstanding, astounding, amazing. Um, okay, so the goal here is to do a couple of things. First, I want to get the cadence that I want. I'm just use a few tools. They're very similar to Maya. So if you're animating in Maya already, you probably know this tool. I have no idea what it's called in Maya. Um, this one, this lattice time retiming tool. It's actually pretty cool. So basically, you just put kind of like they come up with these borders. They call them real retime anchors. Um, basically, if you select a range like this, anything outside of that range won't be manipulated, and anything inside that range will be manipulated. So I'm gonna just take these keys and just retime them. But what I actually don't want is oh man, so that's bad. Like I'm hitting undo and it's not retiming it back to what it was. That's actually really bad. Um, if you're listening, Epic, you need to change that. That needs to be part of the undo. Okay, so that's fine. Let's go again. Delete. We're gonna bring it back in. We're gonna copy. We're gonna paste. So whoops, what happened there? We're gonna mute that later. What happened there was fixing it. Okay, is it was frame snapping. So it was doubling up the frame, the keyframes on top of every new frame. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off the toggle frame snapping. What's it? Toggle time snapping. So I'm going to try this again. I am on, here we go, two. Yes. Here we go, one. Here we go. Here we go, two. Okay. I'm going to see if this works. There we are. That's better. So now you'll see that basically my keys are showing up in between the frames, which is fine. That's kind of what I want. Um, So I'm going to drop this down to, let's say 10 frames, the 10th frame. Then what I'm going to do, I'm going to see if this works. I'm going to turn on snapping one more time, and I'm just going to get this to snap to that last frame. Drop this down. And we've retimed our animation. So we can just look at that as like a guide uh, for what we want to do. The next thing that we can do is if we say like, hey, that's a good sprint speed. I kind of like that. The next thing that we can do is mute this guy. There we go. And we can even just hide the character. All right, so now we're working with this timing. So whenever we go back in here and grab these keys, because I personally like the way I like to work is all my keys are on actual frames. And I don't like to actually animate in between frames unless I'm just fixing some sort of like ugly gimbal locking. Um, so I'll eventually do that, and I'll grab like poses from here to use as a guide. The next thing I want to do is, yeah, I don't like how there's this there's not layers per SKM. That'd be fantastic. Only show layers with selected objects. Okay, I'm on this. I'm going to just grab all these, make a new layer. It puts it down there. I'm going to say adjustment layer. And then I'm going to key that layer. Oh, just key here. I also wish they, honestly, I wish they would kind of get rid of some of this stuff. Like if I'm working in layers, like to me, this is just kind of like added baggage uh, to see this stuff here. Just a little bit, especially, I mean, at the very least, like update it. So like if I mute this layer, it should show up muted over here. I shouldn't be wondering like which one is the master and which one is the child in this scenario. Uh, so yeah, you see how like it's updating, there's this little green box too here. And when I select these two different layers, it is telling me which one I'm the green box is selecting, which would be great if it selected it out here too. So I knew, more of a matter of fact, which one is highlighted. Um, this is just turning into a rant fest video. I'm sorry. But the other thing, well, I'll leave it. Anyway, so we're on this layer. We're going to just right click this layer, select objects. Then we should set a key, and we see a key down there being set. And all I'm going to do is kind of find a new pose I want for sprinting. Um, so you may not see it, but I'm using the hotkey control and the tilde. The tilde is the keyboard key just left of the number one and right above tab. So there's tab and there's one. There's that a little space right there. Well, right there. There's my mouse. It's the button right there. So if you hit, that's the default. You can change it. But that changes the space I'm working in as far as like the gizmo is concerned. So I'm going to be local or world, and those are the only two I care about. There's another one here, which is I think it's parent space. I'd never use that. Wish I could get it out of there because I just toggling between world and local. The world. Usually I'm sticking with world. Oh, I will say that if you are animating in Maya, I'm sorry, haha, if you're animating in Unreal, you want to just come down here, go to plugins, type Gizmo, and you want to activate new TRS gizmos and then turn that sucker on. Because without it, your gizmo is the default Unreal manipulator or gizmo. And this one turns it into something that's more akin to what you would see in Maya. Oh, I will also say that the thing that it doesn't do, it doesn't snap. So I think Epic needs to fix that too. So like right now, I actually have snapping turned on. Um, so that's off, that's on. If I rotate, right, it's not snapping. So if it was snapping, it would go clunk, 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 clunk as I rotated it, the character, but it's not doing that. But anyway, we're going to get a pose that feels better for sprinting. Basically, I just want to lean the character forward more and find some space that this works in. Like this isn't a good pose for the arm back here, but basically layers here, I'm using it, it says additive. So if you're used to adding additive layers to your animation or additive animation to your animation, that's basically what we're doing here. We're just kind of like adding an additive layer to the animation. So we'll see how that looks. That does not look good. So um, and I need a zero key here. I don't think they have that yet. I think it's in 5.6. Zero key additive or previous value override. Eesh. Yeah, I've used that before. Let's see what it does. If I set a key there. Okay, I mean that did exactly what I was hoping it would do actually. And then we're gonna come down here. Uh, just what I like to do in Maya, which is really great that they have that here. If you just middle mouse click on another frame, it holds that pose, and then if you add the key, it saves that pose on that frame. So it looks like she's limping. Well, if you need to create a limping animation, there you go. Okay, so I don't want that for everything. I'm going to select objects. I'm going to deselect this guy there, this guy there, and come to my key and delete all that. And then this one, and put that back into some pose that will look good here. We're going to see how that animates. I don't like that. You're getting this weird, arc there. So I would just adjust that to come down here. That looks better. So we're just going to leave it there for now. And this one feels kind of weird. Let's push it. So I've got the overlay keys controls to show on. So the controls will show as an overlay. You can turn that off. Because I'm using it's the control rig that comes with one of the sample projects, just the default third-person sample project. And I modified it just a little bit for this character. Not much. Um, but obviously it's not getting the head position like I like. Okay, come back to this arm. Just try to tidy this up a little bit. Want that arc coming through, because we'll see if we turn on trails, this is probably going to kill my machine. But you can see where, like your trail is, like the arc this arm is going to follow. So it hits up here pretty hard. And I don't necessarily mind that, but I think we can soften it out just a little bit. Of course, the trail isn't updating. Bam, bam. wonder why it skips. The intention wasn't to animate this whole sucker. I just wanted like a new pose. But this is a way that you can do this. You see how wide it's coming now out here. You can also change your view. I wanted the right view. Oh, where am I? Let's come here. There it is. Oh, not zooming in. Thank you. Um, whoa. So if you wanted to have, oh, look, it's simulating. So you just kind of wanted to see it straight on. It's weird. In orthographic views, it doesn't. The pan hotkey on your mouse is a little different, which is kind of weird. So that comes out pretty far. That's fine. Oh, I can't grab that middle one. Weird. I can grab this green one. Doesn't matter. This is orthographic. Make that wider and bring it in just a little bit. How's that? It's coming wide. All right. Play around with that. Let it come down a little bit. The middle mouse. Oh, there it goes. You hold middle mouse. It's working now, like in Maya. Okay, okay. Not great. We'll fix it up later. So trails. Come back to perspective. So what we can do is just see how powerful this is. I don't know if it's going to work. I'm just copying all these keys. I paste it over here onto this one, and paste it here again. And then I'm just going to offset it by what we got 10 frames, 5 frames. So select all the curves, minus equals 5 with those keys. And cool. That's a cool way to, easy way to kind of mirror your changes. I'm not digging the pose exactly, but we'll dig into that later. This video is running long enough. But yeah, we're getting started with changing out the sprint animation for this character. For sprinting, we want to create a bespoke, brand new sprint for this character. So I'll see you in the next video, and hopefully there was something informative in there in my little rant on the tools. But I mean, there's just so much promise here that I can't ever see myself going back to Maya. This is fantastic. See you in the next one. Happy animating.